The loading dock of Station Kepler 442 buzzed with activity as cargo ships docked and departed in carefully orchestrated chaos. Sophia Chen wiped a bead of sweat from her forehead, watching the Valkyrian security team struggle with a reinforced storage crate. 6 guards, each standing nearly 7 feet tall with their characteristic blue-gray skin and 4 arms, grunted and strained as they attempted to lift the container onto a hoverlift platform. "Careful," barked Chief Security Officer Thranks, his translator crackling slightly. "That crate contains experimental isotopes worth more than this entire station." Sophia suppressed a smile as she continued cataloging inventory on her datapad. She'd been an intern at the Galactic Trade Commission for only 3 months, but she'd already learned that most alien species had a flair for the dramatic. The Valkyrians, despite their imposing size and four-armed advantage, weren't particularly known for their strength, at least not by human standards. "We need reinforcements." One of the guards wheezed, his breathing apparatus hissing with exertion. The crate had barely moved an inch. Albie Rodriguez appeared beside Sophia, carrying 2 steaming cups of coffee. He was a fellow intern, fresh out of university, and still wide-eyed at the reality of working among dozens of alien species. "They've been at that for 20 minutes, he whispered, handing Sophia her coffee. "Should we say something?" "About what?" Sophia asked innocently, though she knew exactly what he meant. "About the gravity settings. About, physics." Station Kepler 442 maintained a standard gravity of 1 g, Earth normal to accommodate the humans who made up the administrative staff. But most of the alien species who worked here came from worlds with significantly lower gravity. The Valkyrians hailed from a planet with only 0.6 g. What seemed like a reasonable weight to them would feel like a feather to most humans. Before Albie could respond, Chief Thranks' frustrated voice echoed across the dock. "Someone contact the engineering bay. We need the heavy lift mechs deployed immediately." Sophia glanced at her datapad. The mechs were currently 3 levels down, undergoing routine maintenance. It would take at least an hour to get them operational and transported to the loading dock. She checked the crates manifest the contents needed to be stored in the temperature-controlled vault within the next 30 minutes, or the isotopes would begin degrading. She made a decision. "Excuse me, Chief Thranks," Sophia called out, approaching the struggling security team. "I can move it if you'd like." The loading dock fell silent. 6 Valkyrian guards stared at her, their large obsidian eyes blinking in what she'd learned to recognize as confusion. Thranks' mandibles clicked together, the equivalent of a dismissive laugh. "Intern Chen, I appreciate your enthusiasm, but this is a serious matter. The crate weighs over 200 Valkyrian stone units. Even with your species' unusual density adaptations, I hardly think it's about 300 pounds. Sophia interrupted, having done the conversion in her head. "Earth pounds. I've got it." Albie choked on his coffee. "Soph, maybe we should," but Sophia was already moving. She set down her datapad, rolled her shoulders once, and approached the crate. The Valkyrian guards stepped back, creating a semicircle of witnesses. Sophia could feel dozens of eyes from other species watching from various stations around the dock. She bent her knees, gripped the reinforced handles on either side of the crate, and lifted up. The crate rose smoothly into the air. Sophia adjusted her grip, shifted the weight to one side, and then, just to make a point, transferred the entire crate to her right hand, holding it at shoulder height as easily as if it were a briefcase. "Where did you need this?" she asked casually. The silence that followed was profound. Thranks' breathing apparatus had stopped hissing entirely, suggesting he'd forgotten to breathe. The 6 security guards stood frozen, their multiple arms hanging limply at their sides. The vault, Thranks finally managed, gesturing weakly toward the far end of the dock. "Corridor 7, 3rd door on the left." Sophia nodded and began walking. The crate held steady in one hand while she pulled out her datapad with the other to check the exact storage coordinates. Behind her, she heard the eruption of excited chatter in at least 4 different languages. Albie jogged to catch up with her, his expression caught between awe and amusement. You just shattered their entire understanding of human capabilities, right?" "Good," Sophia said, not breaking stride. "Maybe next time they'll ask before assuming humans can't help." She glanced at him with a smirk. "Besides, I go to the gym. This is nothing compared to deadlift day. You're going to become a legend," Albie laughed. The human intern who did the work of 6 security guards. They reached the vault, and Sophia carefully placed the crate in its designated climate-controlled chamber. As she straightened and dusted off her hands, she noticed a small crowd had followed them, various aliens from different species, all staring with expressions ranging from shock to fascination. a young Trikari engineer. Her crystalline body, refracting the corridor lights, approached timidly. Excuse-me, Intern? Is it true that Earth's gravity is considered high by galactic standards? Sophia nodded. Earth is a pretty dense planet. Most humans are adapted to conditions that would be considered extreme on many worlds. Fascinating, the Trikari breathed. And you exercise to become even stronger. Some of us do, yeah. Word spread quickly through the station. By the end of the shift, Sophia had been approached by 3 different department heads asking if she could assist with various heavy lifting tasks. The maintenance chief wanted to know if she could help move some equipment. The botanical department head inquired whether she might help transplant some of the larger specimens. Even the recreation director asked if she'd be willing to demonstrate traditional Earth strength training for interested station personnel. Albie found her in the commissary that evening, shaking his head in amazement. You've been offered for different promotions, invited to join the station's emergency response team, and somehow became the unofficial ambassador for human physical capabilities. All in one afternoon. Sophia laughed, sipping her coffee. I just picked up a box, Albie. You picked up a box that required 6 alien security guards, he corrected, with one hand, while checking your data. That's the most casually impressive thing I've ever seen. Chief Thranks approached their table, his posture respectful. Intern Chen, I wanted to apologize for my earlier I have been educated about human capabilities. If you're amenable, I would like to request your assistance in training our security team on proper heavy load procedures. We clearly have much to learn. Sophia smiled warmly. I'd be happy to help, Chief, though I think it's more about understanding different planetary conditions than any special human abilities. We all have our strengths. As Thranks walked away, Albie raised his coffee cup in a toast to humanity, quietly carrying the weight of the galaxy, one intern at a time. Sophia clinked her cup against his. HFY, she said with a grin. HFY, indeed. Outside the view, stars glittered against the infinite darkness, and somewhere on Earth, people went about their daily lives completely unaware that 300 pounds was apparently considered impressive in the wider galaxy. Sophia made a mental note to write home about it. Her mum would get a kick out of that.